Welcome to another episode of our Designer Dialogue series. Today we are here with Lindsey from Cercan Tile talking about all things in the world of tiles. Lindsey, what is something that homeowners kind of oversee and kind of forget about when it comes to selecting tile, but professionals really pay close attention to?
I would say the biggest thing is the big picture. I think that homeowners have gone most of their lives without ever looking at tile. And I found that when I started working in a tile showroom, I was everywhere I went. All of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this tile. And you don't know to look at it because it's something that never was important before. So when people start looking at tile, they get immediately overwhelmed and they focus on, oh, this tile is busy, this tile is this, whatever, but they don't know how to put together a whole picture. And then you get a professional or a designer in on the project and they're like, okay, yes, this tile is plain, but it's for a purpose because it has to go into a bigger design scheme. So I think that would be the biggest thing.
You're absolutely right in the way that we curate palettes where we want it to be, here's a focal point, here's where we got to tone it down, or just even about like slippage too, right? Of like the actual function of the tile.
I will say actually that one is the opposite. Homeowners, for some reason, one of the details that they hyper focus on is the slip resistance because they heard somewhere or they read something somewhere that it's very important. And I have sometimes homeowners putting in tiles that are like commercial level anti-slip that they can't, like you can't mop it because it's so rough because they one time in their childhood slipped on a tile. So I find that homeowners tend to hyper focus on things that they don't know about. And then that also lends into being unaware of the big picture again because they're looking at things that aren't necessarily important in that space.
One of the reasons we love working with you and your team at Cercan Tile is because of the unique selections that you guys offer. How do you help designers find those unique pieces that truly make their projects way more custom?
It starts with sort of the Cercan business model and what we are as a company because the owners really care about what they do. They really love tile. They really love the surfaces that they work with. And so it starts with being in Italy and at the tile shows and going to all of the events and sort of seeing what's coming out. Because the Italian tiles tend to be a little bit ahead of us in North America. So as long as we're on top of it, we can see what's coming. We custom cut mosaics for you. We can make a tile into a size that works better for your project in certain instances. We have clients that want like a custom entryway or something. Like you can design whatever you want with our tiles and then we can make it happen. So the customizability is very open-ended, but we also like to start with the raw materials that are sort of different from what you're going to see other places by keeping our ears to the ground and hearing what the trends are coming up.
How do you balance selecting something that feels current and exciting, but still something that's going to be timeless and something that you still appreciate and love years from now?
First of all, working with a great trade professional is the first key. Very important because it's very easy as a homeowner to either get too caught up in trends or to get caught up in absolutely trying to avoid trends. I kind of talk about like the designer trickle, like when first you have like higher end designers that are using materials and then you have a more accessible group of designers because things become more available. And then you have something that's available at Home Depot or somewhere like that. So basically, as long as you're shopping for things in the sort of middle zone, working with a professional who knows what they're working with, knows what trends are, and is aware of it, then you can, first of all, follow the trends, but also using colors that you yourself feel comfortable in, I find helps really create a timeless feel because you're not picking something just because somebody put it in their bathroom or you've seen it in a magazine or whatever. It's a color you feel comfortable in, warm colors, but all of that comes best from working with a designer, and they're going to take this kind of jumble and go, okay, this is what you want and this is how I'm going to create this space for you. So timeless materials all entirely depends on what you want to look at every day.
And I think kind of circling back to that bigger picture, we see everything in a full context, right? Like what leads into that room so it just doesn't come out of nowhere. You're absolutely right. How does tile contribute to the overall story of a home, just beyond being a functional surface?
So tile is a permanent fixture in a home. So choosing something tastefully with professionals that know what they're doing is going to contribute to the story because it's going to lend into all the other layers that you're bringing into the space. but also choosing something that is timeless, that's going to sort of transcend trends. So when you're picking a beige, something that also has a bit of a cool tone. So if you decide like, oh, I'm so sick of everything being warm, I want to introduce a cooler color, you're choosing a material that's going to sort of give you the option to adjust your overall design without having to tear out tile every single time.
And that's true in so many ways, because there's times we visit projects that we've worked on 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whether it's been a renovation or a new build, and to see the materials being timeless. And you know, there's layers, there's textures, there's movement, but there's not one thing that's fighting anything else. So it just really, really contributes to that cohesive flow throughout a house as well.
Yeah.
What is one tile mistake that you see homeowners make over and over again?
Using a tile that doesn't make sense for the space. For example, putting a wood tile on a fireplace. It's best, like when people use tiles that are printed to look like something that wouldn't make sense, like you don't build a fireplace out of wood because it would burn. And so when people put wood tiles on a fireplace, that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves, because it makes it immediately look like a fake material.
Understandably.
Best to use it in the context that it was designed for.
Like that. Now, Cercan Tile was any drink, coffee, tea, cocktail, what would it be and why?
So I think I'm gonna go with the classic red wine.
Oh.
Yeah, because I mean, Italian red wine is my favorite this fall. But also we try and pick specifically tiles from different regions of Italy and where they're created, and they've been honed over the years, and companies that have perfected what they're making, and just kind of lends to the same idea of wine as it does to tile.
Nice. Cheers to that.
Answer. Yeah, cheers to that.
Well, thank you, Lindsey, for sitting down with us and sharing a little bit more about Cercan Tile and the tile offerings that you have and the expertise behind it all.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm very excited to collaborate in this way.
Thank you.